If you go to the seafloor, we've been talking about all of these plates and stuff. If you go to the seafloor, you're not just going to like land and hit rock. Okay? That rock is covered by sediment. Okay? All of that stuff that's in the water column that settles out of the water and lands on the bottom. Okay? And because scientists are nerds, we actually classify that sediment according to size. So we take pieces of dirt and we look at the size and we say, oh, because it's this size, we're going to call it clay. Or if it's this size, we're going to call it sand. Okay? So, yeah. So we've basically taken and said that anything that's 0.062 to 2 millimeters, we're going to call that sand. Okay? Anything that's bigger than 10 inches, it's a boulder. Okay? So, I know. But all of this stuff, okay, clay, silt, sand, all of this is on the seafloor. Okay? And we have 4 major types of sediment that you will find. We have hydrogenous sediment, biogenous sediment, aerogenous sediment, and cosmogenous. Okay? Hydrogenous sediment, basically you have water and you have chemicals in water. And chemicals react. And when chemicals react, sometimes you form precipitates. And those precipitates fall out of the water to the bottom and form hydrogenous sediment. Okay. Biogenous sediment is formed by living things. So you have things that are living in the ocean, and when they die, their soft tissues get dissolved, decayed, decomposed. Some of them have shells and stuff like that. Those do not get broken down. Okay? They fall out of the water to the bottom, and they form biogenous sediment. Okay? And some of these things are like tiny, tiny microscopic plankton shells, okay, that you'll find. So they're teeny, teeny, tiny. So this is like what it would look like if you look at it under a microscope. Okay, so like there's teeny, tiny little like snail shells at the bottom of the ocean. These are like radiolarians, which are like teeny, teeny, tiny little plankton. They've got little shells. Okay, all of that stuff falls to the bottom. This is a copepod. We'll learn a lot about these. They're like crabs. They've got a hard shell, like a hard outer covering, that doesn't break down in water. So when they die, those little pieces fall to the bottom, form sediment. They're like, you'll see, they're like microscopic. They're small. So you'll look at them under a microscope. Terragenous sediment is produced by the weathering of rocks on land that then get carried by rivers and streams into the ocean and settle on the seafloor. Okay, so it's dirt on the bottom of the ocean. And cosmogenous, when you get meteors that come through the atmosphere protects us and burns up those meteors. But those particles of the burned up meteor are in the atmosphere fall out into the water, are heavy, and fall to the bottom. And so we have pieces of outer space on the ocean floor. Kind of cool. So sediment made out of 4 things. Okay? Precipitates from chemical reactions in water, living things, dirt from erosion of rocks and stuff on land, and pieces of outer space. All of those on the bottom.